Have you ever watched someone lose everything and still walk away with dignity? When Michael Carter signed his divorce papers, he didn't argue. He didn't fight for the house, he didn't demand the savings account, he didn't even ask for the luxury furniture he had spent years paying for. Instead, the single father quietly accepted the settlement, took his old pickup truck, packed a few boxes, and left with almost nothing. His ex-wife laughed as he drove away. But 18 months later, when Michael arrived at the courthouse in a bright yellow Lamborghini, nobody could believe their eyes. Before we begin, if you enjoy powerful stories about kindness, perseverance, and unexpected life lessons, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Echoes of Stories, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories with people around the world. Michael Carter had never imagined his life would fall apart. For 14 years, he had worked hard as an auto mechanic in a small Ohio town. His hands were always covered in grease and his clothes often smelled like engine oil, but he was proud of his work. More importantly, he was proud of being a father. His daughter Emma was 10 years old when the divorce happened. She was the center of his world. The separation was painful. Michael's wife believed she deserved a different life. She wanted expensive vacations, luxury restaurants, and a social status Michael simply couldn't provide. Eventually, she filed for divorce. Friends encouraged Michael to hire an aggressive lawyer and fight for every dollar, but Michael surprised everyone. "What's the point?" he said quietly. "I don't want Emma growing up in the middle of a war." Instead of turning the courtroom into a battlefield, he chose peace. He gave up most of the assets and focused only on securing time with his daughter. Many people thought he was weak, some even mocked him. His ex-wife certainly did. "You'll never recover from this," she told him on the day the divorce was finalized. Michael didn't answer. He simply smiled and walked away. The following months were difficult. He rented a tiny apartment above an old hardware store. The place had squeaky floors and outdated furniture. Money was tight. After paying child support, rent, and bills, there wasn't much left. But every weekend, Emma came to visit. And somehow, those weekends became the happiest part of Michael's life. They cooked pancakes together. They watched old movies. They spent evenings talking about school and dreams for the future. Even when money was scarce, Michael always found ways to make his daughter smile. One rainy afternoon while driving home from work, Michael noticed an elderly man standing beside a broken down car. Most drivers passed without stopping. Michael pulled over immediately. The old man looked exhausted. For nearly 2 hours, Michael worked in the rain, diagnosing the problem and repairing the vehicle. When he finished, the man reached for his wallet. Michael shook his head. "No charge," he said. The man looked surprised. "Why would you do this for free?" Michael smiled. "Because someday someone might help my daughter when she needs it." The elderly man's eyes filled with emotion. He thanked Michael and drove away. Michael never expected to see him again. A week later, a black luxury sedan appeared outside the repair shop. Several men in business suits stepped out. Then the elderly man emerged from the back seat. The entire garage fell silent. It turned out the man was Richard Bennett, the founder of a successful automotive restoration company worth millions. Richard had spent decades collecting and restoring rare classic cars. After learning about Michael's skills and generosity, he became curious, so he investigated. What he discovered impressed him even more. Everywhere he looked, people described Michael as honest, hardworking, and kind. Richard made an offer. He invited Michael to join his company as a restoration specialist. The salary was 3 times what Michael currently earned. Michael couldn't believe it. The opportunity felt unreal, but he accepted. Over the next year, his life slowly transformed. He worked on rare vehicles worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. His talent quickly became obvious. Customers trusted him, collectors respected him. Soon, Michael was leading major restoration projects. His income grew steadily. But something else happened. Despite his success, he never forgot where he came from. He quietly paid repair bills for struggling families. He fixed vehicles for single mothers at discounted prices. He donated tools to vocational schools. Whenever someone asked why he helped so many people, he always gave the same answer: "Kindness kept me going when life got hard." One day, Richard approached him with a new opportunity. The company was launching a specialty division focused on rare European sports cars. Richard wanted Michael to become a partner. The investment was risky, but Michael believed in the vision. Within months, the division exploded in popularity. Collectors from across the country came searching for their expertise. The business flourished. And for the first time in years, Michael achieved financial security. Then came the day nobody expected. A legal matter regarding custody modifications required both Michael and his ex-wife to appear in court. News of Michael's success had never fully reached her. She still imagined him struggling in his tiny apartment. That morning, people gathered outside the courthouse. Lawyers hurried up the steps, reporters waited nearby. Then a bright yellow Lamborghini rolled to a stop, heads turned instantly. The driver stepped out. It was Michael, the same man who had once left the divorce with almost nothing, the same man everyone had underestimated. His ex-wife stared in disbelief. The expression on her face said everything. But Michael wasn't smiling because of the car. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. In fact, he barely acknowledged the attention. Instead, he walked directly toward the courthouse carrying something far more valuable than wealth: confidence, peace, and self-respect. Inside the courtroom, the judge reviewed the case. Michael remained calm and respectful throughout the proceedings. There was no revenge, no arrogance, no attempt to embarrass anyone. When the hearing ended, his ex-wife approached him. For a moment, neither spoke. Then she quietly asked, How did you do it? Michael thought for a second. It started the day I stopped focusing on what I lost and started focusing on how I could help others. She looked at him confused. So, he continued, the opportunities came because of people, and people remembered how I treated them when I had nothing. Those words stayed with her because deep down she knew they were true. Success hadn't changed Michael. Kindness had built him. As Michael walked outside with Emma XML beside him, the Lamborghini attracted cameras and attention. But Michael barely noticed. His daughter slipped her hand into his. That was the moment he cared about. Not the car, not the money, not the admiration of strangers, just the chance to be the father she deserved. And perhaps that's the real lesson of this story. Life can take away home, savings, relationships, and plans, but no one can take away your character. When Michael lost everything, he could have become bitter. He could have chosen anger. Instead, he chose kindness. And that choice opened doors he never imagined possible. The world often rewards power, wealth, and status, but sometimes the greatest rewards come from simple acts of compassion that nobody notices in the moment. So the next time you have an opportunity to help someone, take it. A small act of kindness today might change a life tomorrow, and just like Michael discovered, kindness has a way of finding its way back when you need it most. Until next time, remember this: you may not control what happens to you, but you can always control how you treat others, and sometimes that makes all the difference in the world.